press pause on their puberty because that's what they learned online, and a bunch of celebrities got in line and said, that's great, the trans agenda. What's worse, these celebrities that are advocating for the harm of our children through all of these various means, or a guy that's a part of a manosphere that's clearly playing a part. I'll also say this, why do these people get so many followers? Why does Andrew Tate get so many followers? Why does Dan Bilzerian, why do Dave Portnoy? Now, these people are different, but why do they inspire so many men to want to get behind them? Well, maybe it's because we are living in a society that keeps trying to force the other extreme. These men are hungry for leadership. They want to be told that it's okay to be a man, right? Because everything around them, look at the media. Oh, toxic masculinity. Oh, you're a bad person if you don't have your tail in between your legs. Oh, the woman should act like men and the men should act like women, right? Men should apologize for being men. That is the message that is coming from the mainstream media. And so, of course, these men are looking for something else. Like, give me anything else. Give me somebody that at least says it's okay to be a man, and these men do it. They say, it's cool. I like hot chicks. And guys go, yeah, awesome. At least we said it. Stop trying to tell men that they have to like fat people, right? You have to like Lizzo. If you don't think that Lizzo is hot sauce, then you're problematic, right? That's the message that they're getting. So then someone gets on a platform and they say water is wet. They say hot chicks are hot. And these men celebrate as they should, because they need to stop hearing these ridiculously toxic ideas and stop being led to believe that there's no place for them in our society. I'll wrap this portion by saying this: there is no society that can survive without strong men. So this is the natural response to a society that is impressing upon male weakness. You're going to get the other extreme. Why are you so pro?
Thank you, Blessing. Ladies and gents, what did we think of that clip? Do you think there is an attack on masculinity, and are men looking for leadership? You guys weigh in when you want.
I would say that there's an attack on truth, and I think men favor truth as opposed to opinion. So it's not necessarily an attack on masculinity, it's an attack on truth. And because you're attacking truth, you're leaning towards the side of men. So yeah, that's what I would say it's more of. So like she said, like, give an example of like Lizzo, or like finding hot chicks. Men know, like, oh, I'll fight. So if you try to convince me to find this attractive or whatever it may be, you were like, no. But if you give me the truth, men will just go lean towards that side. That's what I think is more of. So yeah.
Okay. You said you agree with what he said.
I just feel like I agree with you saying that they agree with truth, but she threw me off with the Lizzo and the what other statement did she say with the hot? Like, she threw me off with the Lizzo statement, because I just feel like in society today, obviously, as being a big girl myself, I just feel like it's your opinion if you like big girls or not. And it doesn't matter if you don't like big girls. It's your opinion at the end of the day. And I do feel like society is trying to stretch it to say, oh, if you don't like big people, you're problematic. But it's just down to preference at the end of the day. And that's just how I feel. So just me being a big girl, like, I don't really care if a guy says he doesn't like big girls. Okay, that's your opinion. I don't like big guys. Do you know what I mean?
Why do you feel like you're so based with that? Because that's not common.
What do you mean?
Like, a lot of girls that are bigger, like, they get offended.
I don't get offended.
And I don't either. Like, if a guy said, I don't like tall gingers, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, like, I just feel like society today, we're all like about be kind. We're all about like pro big girls. We're about pro, like, just a lot of things that is just, if it's an opinion, it's an opinion. But we're just pushing it way too much to the point where she said an example of Andrew Tate, because I've watched his clips, like, promoting leadership. But at the end of the day, I'm cultured as well, to be honest. So I feel like a man should be a leader. It shouldn't be an issue. But maybe the way he's expressing it is just the problem. Do you know what I mean? It's not really like you being a leader. You can be a leader. Facts. He's just saying a bit too much, maybe. That's why this maybe like the internet today is getting offended by it, the way he speaks about it. Do you know? I don't know. Me personally, I don't get offended by anything. Like, I know how I am. And that's just how it is. Like,
what do you think, Troy? attack on masculinity?
I think it's become increasingly difficult to talk about certain things relating to masculinity. I mean, I work primarily as a dating coach. We teach guys how to, become better in the dating marketplace. We actually work with guys in real life and do stuff obviously online, over Zoom and stuff like that as well. But actually working with guys in the field, getting them into social interactions, watching what they do, critiquing what they do, giving them tips on how to improve and so on. And I've often felt that being a dating coach in 2022 going into 2023 is one of the most despised jobs in the entire world because you get flack from what she's talking about. You get flack from the sort of mainstream because they will think you're misogynistic for some reason, or they'll think that you hate women or you're being sort of manipulative, which isn't true. You'll also get flack from the sort of the traditionalists who are more like, well, you just want to just bed all these different women and you're not about a serious relationship, stuff like that. And that's not true either necessarily because it's down to the individual what they want to do. So yeah, I think we have got to a place now where it's very hard to say anything. Yeah, because of this culture of everybody being offended by everything. And I think that's, so yeah, I think in that, and feminists would argue, well, to redress the balance from things in the past. Now, we're now sort of, men are now under a lot more scrutiny than they once were. But it seems to me the pendulum has swung too far in the sense that now we can't really have a sort of an even honest conversation about the way things actually are,
And I don't even really think that the pendulum was necessarily for women throughout all of history because we didn't even have to fight in wars.
No,
the men had to do that.
No, I know. When I was saying that, I was thinking, I know because I'm not saying that was necessarily true, but I'm just saying that's what the perception.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. That's what the perception was, wasn't it? And
why do you think? Because it's interesting. Because I was telling you before the show, like I've been to a dating coach type conference before, and I really didn't see the big deal, like why people were so mad about it. Because I'm like, if guys don't know how to talk to women, like, isn't it good that we learn that they learn? We want guys that know how to talk to us.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? And I've never really understood the sort of the hate. And then you get hate from other people like the Doomers who say, well, it's all about looks. So if you're not 6'7" and you've got a 12 pack and all the rest of it, then you haven't got a chance anyway. So it's all nonsense. Yeah, you would think that, wouldn't you? Because actually all we're doing really, a lot of this stuff, it really goes back to old-fashioned social skills and old-fashioned confidence skills. And a lot of guys, people watching this, they might think, well, this game stuff, this dating advice stuff, it's been around for ages. We all know all this. But there's a lot of guys out there who really, really need help. They're just really not very socially adept.
And that's probably the majority of men, I would say.
You think so?
Well, I think the majority of men are kind of maladapted to social situations, sexual situations, relationship situations. We cite the stat 1 in 3 men for the whole year has not had sex or is a virgin, right? So you have to understand that a lot of men, the average man, is not socially adapted to interacting with women generally.
Yeah, for sure. And it's only got worse because of the prevailing culture where now, I mean, I've heard some terrible stories about, I'm glad I'm not 18 anymore going into this dating market because, it's like, what can you say? What can you not say? Are you going to get accused of some terrible crime because you asked out the wrong girl? I mean, it's
at
very
the wrong
dodgy.
time.
Yes. Yeah.
And said the wrong thing.
Exactly. So it's very fraught with difficulty now.
And that's the whole thing about for me, the attack on masculinity, because masculine men are they're hunters, I would say, right?
Yeah.
And when masculine men see a woman that they like, they normally go for it.
Yeah.
Now, that woman, I think, in these days and times has been kind of pre-programmed with he shouldn't say this, he shouldn't say that, he's not allowed to make you feel this uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
But masculine men just go for what they go for, and they say what they say. Yeah. But that is now a thing where now, a lot of women can say, oh, I felt uncomfortable and I was sexually harassed, or, so I think when I say the attack.
Yeah. There was a girl on the show that said that she was sexually harassed, like something, I forgot what she said. She was sexually assaulted or harassed, something like that.
Right. Because he was persistent or something.
Yeah, because some guy was like catcalling her and like was being persistent with it.
I saw that.
I'm like, you're scarred by that?
Girls
Yeah,
can be
yeah,
scarred
yeah,
by
yeah.
that, though. Girls
No,
can be
come
scarred by that.
by being catcalled. If that's the worst thing that's ever happened to you, you've had a very privileged life.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
You've had a
innocent.
very
They
privileged
innocent.
life
They innocent.
because a man called you beautiful more than once.
Yeah.
How dare he?
How dare you?
Like,
But that's the
The
thing. That's what,
audacity.
I kind of like there's a whole group of homeless people that I walk by here every day. I'm like, I don't. It is what
And
it
one of
is.
them was like, "Hey, you look pretty." I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, I'm like,
That's cute.
Walking.
one day you're gonna be 60 and no one's gonna be complimenting you.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But then you see those
Colin.
articles. So then you see those articles, don't you, where you've got the female journalist who is now over the age of, like, say, 40 or whatever, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, guys aren't looking at me anymore, and I'm finding it hard to adjust to this new reality where I'm invisible." And it's like, well, which did you want? You know?
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. I think. Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say, I understand what you lot are saying is an attack on masculinity, and the reason why I say it's an attack on truth more than
Mhm.
masculinity is
Mhm.
because when these group of people attack masculinity, they tend to attack femininity as well, and they put it in a
Mhm.
position where they're trying to make feminine women more masculine. So I feel like they're attacking both sides with lies. So, for example, in the case of like, oh, when you get to making women feel like, oh, when you're 40, you're gonna be desirable and all of this kind of thing. That's just not the truth. Like, okay, it works for some people, so they're attacking the truth more. And if you if you align with the truth more, you tend to be like it, I generally believe men align with facts more, like less of their feelings, more facts.
Mhm.
And
No,
Yeah.
because when women speak, they say "I feel like," and that's obviously
Yeah.
a fact.
I'm
No, I'm joking. that was sarcasm.
I thought you were gonna say something
No, that was-
so
Sarah.
lit.
No,
Where'd
no,
you
but
go?
I agree because like the reason I was just being facetious
Yeah.
because the show that's what we hear all the time. Like I
Yeah.
feel like, right?
It's true.
But when you say that it's an attack on femininity, also, so I agree that the society in which we live in is attempting to effeminize men and then masculinize women,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that's one of the major reasons why so many podcast shows are the way they are talking about relationships, because I think that men and women have lost their roles. So
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
I would say there is an attack on masculinity, yeah, it's right. I think there's an attack on femininity also, trying to make them more masculine.
Yeah.